Good evening and welcome to Nighttales with the Royal Mic, Season 2, Episode 13, titled Whispers from the Other Side. What if guidance came from unexpected places, people, not always loud, not always visible, but always meant for you? Adoma, once a cheerful and vibrant girl, shoved herself in the corner of the school's cafeteria a little too much these days to everyone's amazement, particularly mine. She seemed more sunken by the day, and that worried me to bits. Why? Wouldn't you get worried if your outspoken bestie turns, mute? At first, I thought it was grief, still raw from her mother's passing. But this felt deeper, like she wasn't just mourning someone lost, but listening for someone who hadn't quite left. Her eyes often drifted toward nothing in particular, like she was tuning into a frequency only she could hear. And then there were the names. One in particular she muttered under her breath when she thought no one was listening. Nana. I'd heard it many times, but even the whisper echoed like a lone vuvuzela. It didn't sound like a place or a person, but something. Oh, who am I kidding? I really have no clue. That was the week Dr. Asempasa returned from his research collaboration with Professor Sekyi Baidoo. He walked into our Principles of Prose Fiction class like he never left. Same smile, same warm presence. The kind of presence that made you sit up straight, not out of fear, but respect. The class was a delight as always. After the class, while most students were rushing out because Real Madrid and Barcelona were playing at 3, he stood by the board, still erasing the last line he'd written. I was halfway out when he said gently, "When a girl starts whispering to the wind, it's not the wind that should concern you. It's what's whispering back." I sank in the moment, totally forgetting to respond to Dr. Asempasa. What could I have said anyway? I just nodded and walked out into the breeze, his words sticking to my chest like fresh glue. Outside, Sami, my birth twin from another mother, was already waiting by the courtyard steps, phone in his left hand, changes by Amar Taidu in his right, ranting about how Barcelona's midfield was a joke this season. That was his thing, brainiac with the latest updates, fixtures and critiques on the La Liga. He could ace a presentation and argue football tactics without skipping a beat. But today, even he paused when Adoma walked past us. She didn't greet, she didn't even see us. We were all children of Dr. Asempasa, but clearly some things couldn't be taught, only passed down in silence and pain. Things didn't go back to normal, not really. The three of us, Adoma, Sami and I, still laughed in the corridors and argued over who left dishes in the sink and who would get the highest in dog's quiz. But something was different. Better. We never sat down to talk to Adoma about it, not properly, but we all knew that meeting with Daddy, Dr. Asempasa, it left fingerprints, it left heartprints. And maybe that's what change looks like sometimes. Quiet shifts that speak volumes, or a moment with a mentor of yours. Adoma found herself despite the scars she'd had from her hurting past. We realized that shrouded in loss, pain and rejection is actually quiet beauty waiting to be revealed. Journeying with her, we found ourselves too. Months later, we found ourselves seated together in the packed auditorium of the university. Professor Sekyi Baidoo stood at the podium, confident and bright-eyed, delivering a lecture titled The Stories That Save Us. He spoke of how literature holds up a mirror, how through fiction, memoir, and even satire, we learn to name our wounds and trace our way home. Adoma sat beside me, smiling and scribbling notes excitedly for the first time in weeks. Sami nodded now and then, arms folded, fully present. And Daddy, in his favorite green African shirt, took the last seat on the row, whispering, "Yes, yes," like an amen to every truth the professor dropped. That day, I realized, Maybe we weren't trying to become something new. Maybe we were just returning, through words, through memory, to who we had always truly been, the best versions of ourselves we were blinded from seeing. Sometimes the loudest truths come in whispers, not from the world we know, but the one we've forgotten, the dreams we've forgotten. Knowing who you are is as powerful as knowing who you'll become. Thank you for listening to Nighttales with the Royal Mic. Can't wait to have you on the next episode. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend to tell another friend that this is Nighttales with the Royal Mic. Adios. Good night. Bye-bye.